If you're looking to win your fantasy football league this year, dynasty league, redraft league, best ball league, I don't care what it is. There's 5 wide receivers that we're going to talk about today that can help you win your league. The value on them is insane. They're way too slept on by the sheep. And if you don't want to say bah, you're in the right spot. The first name of the video is Ted McMillan. Now, Ted McMillan, you're thinking to yourself, this guy's got all the hype. Everyone's in on him. Not really. His current ADP on ESPN, his ADP is 65 in a PPR redraft league. Now in best ball, his ADP sits at 46, which is a bit more reasonably priced, potentially a little bit low still as well. But if we're looking at the redraft value here, if he's priced as ADP 65, wide receiver 33, he's going behind Rome Odunze. He's going behind Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, Zay Flowers, Cortland Sutton, behind Xavier Worthy. Ted McMillan, his prospect profile is similar to Drake London. It's similar to George Pickens. He has that big body wide receiver frame. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 on the Carolina Panthers. Who's the wide receiver 2? Big country, Xavier Leggett. Who's the other wide receiver 2? Jalen Coker. Who's the other wide receiver 2? Adam Thielen. Not necessarily amazing prospects there, right? Like Adam Thielen, he's honestly, Adam Thielen is a sleeper, but that's not what we're talking about today. Health is a concern there. So there's not really anybody competing for target share. Ted McMillan can feast from day one as long as Bryce Young is decent at quarterback, which obviously isn't a guarantee. But at 65 overall ADP, gotta be smashing that. Number 2 is Josh Downs. Again, Josh Downs is a deep sleeper because his current ADP on ESPN is wide receiver 51. ADP of 112. Looking at his best ball ADP, it's around 77. Looking at his rank, so if we're getting Josh Downs for whatever I just wide receiver 51 right in ESPN, he was wide receiver 32 in 2024. He averaged 57.36 receiving yards per game. Now, I know Pittman was banged up. He still averaged 13.1 PPR points per game. That's nothing to sleep on. This guy was respectable, actually, in 2024. His yards per out run also was respectable. His rookie season, he played all 17 games. His yards per out run was 1.6, kind of bad. But then it was up to 2.21 last year. Now, Richardson has the shoulder thing going on. It looks like Daniel Jones is going to be starting some games in Indy this season. And Daniel Jones, he is going to be able to throw the ball a little bit more than we would get with Anthony Richardson. So I do think Josh Downs is actually a very good sleeper pick in all leagues this year, even on redraft leagues and best ball leagues. His target share was 26% in 2024. With an increased yards per out run, he is getting more touchdowns as well. Everything was trending up. He was wide receiver 32. I think this year we could see Josh Downs pushing for wide receiver 20. And he's currently getting drafted way lower at wide receiver 51 on ESPN. So that's kind of wild. Looking at the next name, Marvin Harrison Jr. You're thinking to yourself, breakout wide. Listen, guys, he wasn't a breakout. Yes, this is the number 1 wide receiver prospect of all time. It didn't pan out. He was wide receiver 44 in 2024 per game, 11.56 PPR points per game. I think he slept with Kyler's wife or something. It was kind of weird. He was 52 yards per game, a touchdown every 2 games. So the touchdowns weren't bad. 22% team target share wasn't terrible. He basically was just mid, and he wasn't really getting enough receptions per game, enough looks. Average 6.8 targets per game, average 3 receptions per game, not great. Can he take a step up in year 2? I think so. I think Kyler Murray is going to improve this year. I think Marvin Harrison, his target share is going to jump up from 22%, maybe closer to the 30% range. I know 8% is a big jump, but I do think that the Cardinals offense as a whole is going to be improved. Marvin Harrison, wide receiver going into year 2, the best wide receiver prospect of all time. And he's currently getting drafted pretty low with ESPN's ADP ranking him at wide receiver 20. Number 44 overall. They have him behind Garrett Wilson. They have him behind JSN, behind McLaurin, behind Devontae Adams, behind Ladd McConkey. Now, I'm not saying he should be ahead of those guys. I'm just saying Marvin Harrison Jr., guys. Best wide receiver prospect of all time. I know it didn't pan out year 1, but guys, wide receivers going into year 2, typically bump them up the draft board. Marvin Harrison, no exception. Number 4 is a guy that his current ADP on best ball is 198. He's debatably going undrafted. It's Amari Cooper. Now, Amari Cooper comes in the league 2016. Listen, Devontae Adams is older than Amari Cooper. Devontae Adams is still going drafted at 30, so don't give me the whole age argument. Now, yes, obviously he is dusty. He averaged 1.47 yards per out run in 2024. He was there with the Bills. He averaged 8 points per game, the worst year of his career by far. Everything was bad. Everything was bad for Amari Cooper. The thing is, the Bills traded a 3rd-round pick for Amari. They still believed in him. Now, yes, Amari is now gone. Amari is a free agent, but what have we seen in best ball? We have seen when J.K. Dobbins signs with the Broncos, he bumps up from undrafted probably to ADP of like 140 now or higher for Dobbins is what I'm seeing in best ball drafts. So Amari Cooper is 200 right now. Debatably undrafted. If you can get some shares of Amari Cooper in best ball, I'm big on that. And also in a redraft league, he also probably shouldn't be undrafted. He obviously, when you're starting your redraft leagues, we'll have clarification of where he signs. But Amari Cooper, there's rumors of him going to Pittsburgh with Rodgers. So I think Amari Cooper, definitely in best ball, slide him up the draft. Final name is Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, a lot of signs are pointing to him playing mostly offense and sleeping on defense, learning the playbook on defense, and being primarily wide receiver for the Jaguars. They have him at ADP 66, wide receiver 34. He might be a better wide receiver prospect than Ted McMillan. So, I mean, right off the bat, he's behind Ted McMillan, he's behind Rome Odunze, he's behind George Pickens and Jameson Williams. I just think his ADP is kind of low. I think he can be a league winner. Travis Hunter can be a league loser. Obviously, the risk is there. He's kind of like a Christian McCaffrey type floor. But in terms of wide receiver prospects, having Travis Hunter at wide receiver 34 seems like a good selection to be making. Those are 5 wide receivers that can be breakout players in 2025. Thanks for watching, boys. Smash like and subscribe. Peace.